So first of all, let's talk about utility function. What is utility function? A short definition, utility function is a mapping of consumption set to a real number, from a consumption set to a real number. So this mapping summarizes and represents the preference of a consumer on an ordinal fashion. By ordinal fashion, that means that when we are talking about utility function, we cannot say exactly the number. We just say that, like, for example, the utility that we receive from X is greater than the utility that we receive from Y. But by how much, we don't know, just as ordinal fashion. And also in another definition, if we say in more detail, utility function is a real valued function which is mapping from consumption set to real numbers. It's called a utility function representing a preference relation if we have two consumption bundle, which is X and Y. They are included in our consumption set, such as X is at least as good as Y if and only if the utility that we receive from X is equal or greater than the utility that we receive from Y. And also, in another situation, we can say that the utility function is a mapping from RL plus to R. Utility function is a mapping from a real number with L dimension, from a non-negative real number with L dimension to real numbers. Why we say this? Because in the last class, when we were talking about the consumption set, we said that the consumption set, simply, in order to make it simple for working, for proving, we say the consumption set is equal to RL plus. The L is dimension, the number of dimension. It says the number of goods and services that we have in a consumption bundle. For example, L can be just 1 and 2 goods in our consumption set. L can be from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 100. Different combination of goods and services we can have here. So then, that L comes from the number of goods and services that we have in our consumption set or in consumption bundle. Then the plus means that this consumption set is non-negative. It means we cannot say that we consume a negative amount of some goods. But we consume zero amount because it's not strictly positive. So if we say that RL plus plus, it means it's strictly positive. It does not include zero. But it's RL positive because it includes zero, because sometimes we spend just zero amount of some products, some goods. So that's why, in order to make it simple, we can say utility function is real valued function that we map from RL plus to R, from a L dimension non-negative real numbers to a real numbers.